Hello, everybody. Welcome to Area 51 Raceway, and we are going to talk about the late model shootout we're having on Labor Day. Harry, myself, and Dave were real excited about this particular body, which basically is the late model stock cars that everybody races across the country. There's an example one Harry's showing, and right there on my track, I have a tray that shows different, components, and we're going to talk about that. That's a nice painted body. See, and there's Dave's got one right there. As you can see, he's got his done. We're all getting there with them. I already built three because I really got really excited about it. So I built quite a few of them. It's the three that I have right there next to the three Amigo figures from from Joe from Slockhart Dojo that he gifted us. But basically, this is something that Harry wanted to do, and I wanted to do, and so did Dave. And it's pretty cool that we're able to make a late model car like this, because this is what circle track racing is exactly. It's this type of car. It's a circle track asphalt car. That's all you see them go on. There's a lot of them here in North Carolina, as there is on the West Coast as well in California. If you want to look up a cool Facebook page, it's called Race Cals, RACECALS. They do a lot of decals for the one-on-one cars, the one-to-one cars, and they have a lot of videos of all different kind of asphalt dirt track racing. It's pretty cool, and that's a good place to look for examples for liveries. I mean, sometimes they're just plain liveries with just plain numbers, as you see on some of the cars I have there, and then sometimes they're a little bit more, more livery decorations, like the white car I have there with the American transport theme on that. So, but yep.
Yeah, great.
But so, what do you want to talk about? Go ahead and talk about the race, Harry, and the days and everything, and what the rules and all that.
All right. Well, we got the rules page set up. This is going to be a two race, two track event. If you look at the rules page on the Saturday, the 30th of August, is the race is going to be here. And then on Sunday, I talked to Mark Thomas, and we're going to pack up the cars, and he's going to take them with him, and we're going to go out there Sunday, and we're going to have another feature event. His track, different configuration, a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, different elevation, everything else, and we'll run them. We'll run them a second time. So basically, it's just built on the entire proxy is about this body. We have the kit there. Slacker Corners provided the kit with all the basic hardware. You just have to finish buying all the running gear, and you paint it, put it together, and send it in. It's probably one of the easiest, straightforward plug and play proxies that you could join, in my opinion, anyway.
Cool. So I
Because
have.
yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
no, it's just basically it's all spec, just like the one-to-one racing. You go to the local track, and I can show you examples, but where we go here on Saturday nights, these bodies are spec, the chassis are spec. That you have your engine rule, you have your wheel rule, tire rule. It boils down to having a proper setup, weight distribution, this and that, and the loosen up behind the steering wheel. Can you drive or can you not drive? You know, and that basically sets the tone. So just like the one-to-one, it'll be a spec class. Hey, Ted. Hey, guys. How
So I have
y'all
on the
doing?
screen is what I have on the screen is the rules, and what it says here is the link to the kit is here. So here's what comes with the kit, so everybody understands very clear. So on this picture right here, you see where it's a late model kit, the body, the chassis, the pod, the interior, and also we're allowing a Lexan interior, and there's a driver head. So if you want to use a lighter interior, we're welcoming that. And of course, we want to thank Oscar from Slot Invasion USA for offering a guide with the kit, which is kind of rare. Usually they don't offer guides with kits, but Oscar's doing that, so we want to thank him for that. And
Yeah,
then the
it's top.
hardware, we're going to go over the hardware real quick, what's included. So you get four 2 millimeter, or excuse me, two M2 5 millimeter grub screws. That's for the axles. So you can position your axle height. Then you get four of the body mount brass inserts. So those are the brass inserts that go in the body, which I have done a video, and the video is we're gonna have Steve put the video. It's on the Trans Am cars. If you look at it, there's a video below it explains what comes with that kit and how to do the brass inserts. I suggest you look at all that first. Very similar to this car, it's just a different body. And then comes with it are the SCC M2 6 millimeter motor mount screws. That's basically to mount the body is what he has that for. And then you have the four SCC M2 6 millimeter body machine screws. And you have the we're at two SCC 4 millimeter motor mount screws. So the 6 millimeter motor mount screws are for the body, and then you have the machine ones, and then the other ones are for the pod. And then you get the JK flange bushings. So that's another added thing. You don't have to buy flange bushings. They come with the kit as part of the hardware. And then you get two of those. And then you get four 20 thousandths axle shim spacers, which I think Steve's going to add some 60 thousandths there as well to make the, make sure the axle is in a good position with the tires in relation to the body. But in addition to these items in this kit, you all need a purchase of front axle assembly, rear axle assembly. Actually, that's a S-can motor, not a slim can, or any other items required to complete the build. See list below. If you decide to finish the body interior, you will need to provide paint, decals, etc. as well, and all that. So that's what comes with the kit, which is a lot. So you don't have to really go searching for the small parts. All the small parts in the bag are included in the kit. Now the larger items, which you're a big boy and you can pull up your big boy pants and you can get this stuff on your own. It says 4 CB design wheels, 15x8s only. You could use the inserted wheels to put your own wheel inserts, or you could use this, right, Harry, or the stock car wheels that they offer.
Right.
Okay.
These
and then
your stock car wheels are what we're leaning towards. These are, I mean, you don't have to use the inserts. They're well detailed.
Yeah.
They look great.
So
yeah, I like the
there you go.
wheels. They look great on it.
And we'll show you those. And then there's 4 Paul gauge PGD 22 125 tires. And you need to get 2 axles, 3/32, 65 millimeters in diameter or in length. Then the Predator motor for this class only is the Jolly Rancher, and we call it the Jolly Rancher because it's got the green, translucent end bell, the 22.5 RPM Predator motor. That's the ball bearing motor. It's called the Jolly Rancher motor. Then comes the you get the slotted 18 millimeter 34 tooth Sidewinder spur gear. The slotted, it's actually 11 tooth. I know we put 9, 5.5 inline pinion gear. We'll go over that. Harry's going to go over that because there's 2 different types you could kind of do that'll work. It just depends what combination. You have to buy your braid. You have to buy your motor leads, and you had the ferrules for the motor leads. However you do it. So that's basically it. And you see an example here of Dave's right there. This is what he built. And he made these decals himself, including the Slot Car Jesus approved, which is super cool. And it's basically pretty cut and dry and simple. It's not really difficult. I don't see anybody should have a problem with getting what they need to get to make it work. So that'd be it.
It's do it as simple as possible.
Yeah, exactly. But there we have it. So, Gary, why don't you go over the gear part? Because I know that we were talking about that earlier. Because I was using a different setup than you were.
Okay, so for example, let me go get the packages. I know that it can be confusing with Sidewinder because this isn't adjustable, right? Well, it is in a way. You can use offset bushings, but friends don't let friends do that often. Okay, I'm not gonna tell. The problem with doing that is getting them aligned. Offset bushings work if you're willing to do the work, and they can be very cantankerous. So the easiest way is to choose the right size diameter gears. So, for example, this setup right here, this is using Okay, this is using the 18 millimeter spur gear. You can see the marking on it. Just your common, everyday slotted, right? 18 millimeter. This one is a 34 tooth. Okay, but they have several different sizes in 18 millimeter. You can choose whatever size, whatever ratio you want, but the 34 works great. Okay, hello there, sir. How are you? And with the 18 millimeter, with our pod, for example, this is the 12. This is the 6.5 millimeter pinion. Okay, that's the diameter that you want to use with this to give it the proper ear mesh. So there you have it. As you can see, hopefully that shows you that's just about spot on. So now, George, you can cover what happens when you go to a 19, if you choose to do so, if that's what you have on hand.
Okay, if you do go to 19, let me get all my cameras back. I need to get them. Hold on a second.
Or I
So
can do it.
here's basically what I have. I have a tray here. So if you do go to was it make sure if you do go to a 19 diameter spur gear, you need to go to a 5.5 millimeter diameter pinion tooth or pinion gear, excuse me. So that's the difference when you see you go with a decreased size, like Harry did. Yours is 18, right, Harry? So make sure I get this right.
Right.
Okay, so then you have to go with the larger diameter pinion gear, which is a 6.5. So that's way they mesh completely and correctly. You can use the plastic gear that Slotted has as well. That one that one is a 19. It has the aluminum hub and then a plastic spur gear. That's a 19. You could use a 6.5 for that one as well. So anytime you go, or excuse me, 18. Sorry, you could use the 6.5. If it's 19, it's 5.5. If it's 18, it's 6.5. Correct, Harry? Make sure I got that right.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So that's kind of like you got to make sure you get the right set. Uh, but 11 tooth and 34 is usually pretty good for the oval. I mean, you could experiment yourself and try different things. I did with the white car there on the far right. That one I did an 1136, the purple gear, and it did pretty well. So you can look at your chart, which Stock Car Corner does have a chart to give you your gear ratios and stuff. So, but that's basically the setup I was using was the 19 and the 5.5 diameter.
So basically, you're looking at there's your pinion. This is on our Trans Am cars, but the pod is the same. The distance is the same. Nothing's changed, and you can measure, and it tells you which pinion to use. See, 6.43. That's 6.5 in American. Okay. All right, just to let you know, zero, and then of course your aluminum gear, and you bring it here, measure that, and there you go, 1797. There's 18. So if you use the smaller diameter 18 instead of 19, use the larger diameter pinion, and vice versa. Larger diameter spur, smaller diameter pinion. Pretty easy. And Slotted makes a chart that's absolutely confusing, but they do make it, right? So we're here to help you. But the top three gear ratios, um, you can go, 32, 33, 34. That's good. You can go all the way to 36 if you want. You can go 11 tooth pinion, this and that. It's up to you to decide. We have our track dimensions up there. My track is 16 foot long. Mark's is 14, whatever we have the dimensions there. So just, pick a ratio and run with it and just see how it is. That's part of the fun.
So Lance Gallagher
Any,
said, "Thanks for the
any,
clarification."
yeah, whatever gear ratio you want to run, it's up to
Yeah,
you. Um,
exactly.
you know, the let's see, like a 12 to 34 12 to 34 like I'm running or whatever. That's what 284, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
believe so.
yeah, that's 283. Um, you know that's up to you. You can
Right.
you can um, 11 to 36, which is what Fly used to use. That's 327.
Yes, I think it
Um,
is. I don't have a chart
right.
in front of
So
me.
so right. Yeah. I mean, you can find your gear charts up there. Um, you know. Um, what did you gear yours, George? What was your opinions? 9 to what?
1134. That's a 3.27 gear ratio, I believe.
11 to 34.
Yes, like a Revo slot kind of.
Yeah, That's 309.
Oh, 309. Okay. Yeah, actually
Yeah.
227 is the bigger gear. All right. A
Yeah,
little more
three oh
teeth.
nine. Yeah.
Yeah, 309. It's like kind of like the 927 is like 3.0. It's kind of
There you
typically what,
go.
and an inline.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go, Lance. Right
yeah.
there. That's it.
Exactly, Lance. 18 millimeter diameter
Uh,
spur and
uh,
6.5 millimeter pinion, or 19 millimeter diameter spur and
This is just
5.5
my
pinion.
this is just my example on one of my cars. Like I said, you don't have to follow that gear ratio. If you want to change it, you change it to yourself. Um, this is a good motor, and on our oval, you're really you know given the ratios available that slotted NSR, etc., scale out that they make, you're not going to gear this to where you're going to hurt this motor, not on these smaller tracks. You're not. So
Exactly.
and but yeah, I just to keep it simple, I just showed the slotted parts that I'm ordering, and this is what I'm using. So that's what I'm going to do. As yeah, I'm just going to go 1283 or 283. I'm going to go 12 to 34, just as an example, you know. And remember that the wheels, the part numbers for these wheels, like this is a 1421. This is anodized black,
Red.
and these 1410, which are the standard aluminum. Just go on the website, but you can pick the different colors. They have the red, um, whatever. But it's pretty good. Let me go get the tires too. Three is always a good place to start. It's you just can't um, uh, out here on the track on the oval, making sure your tires are trued, you got the front end set right, this and that, um, good contact patch. But yes, three is a good, excellent place to start.
There you go. So again, nothing real complicated with this. So remember, uh, we still love scratch building. I know we've been kind of really going off to this section, but I want everybody to remember that the showdown always remains the same with brass built chassis. Reason why we want to open this up is because the future of what we've done with things and the what is ahead is what technology really gets things going. I mean, a year ago we didn't think we'd ever be at this spot. We thought we'd be still getting silicone and pouring resin into silicone castings.
Oh my
But with
God.
technology, this is really just it's made it nice. And Dave, was the one to spur the plastic chassis because he had told us, a lot of guys really have a hard time, with dealing with the soldering iron. I understand that. So why don't we make something that, somebody could put together fairly quickly and, with common sense, of course, like with everything else, and they can have themselves a car. And then Harry's I think this is the first time in how many years, Harry's, we have allowed something like this in what, 18, 19 years? I mean,
Oh God.
it's a long time. So this is going to really open up to more, entertainment and more fun.
So
There's the
that's what your
tires.
tire is going to look like on the 15 by 8 22 12 5. And remember, you can, when you're truing this, you can bring the diameter down right around 21 or whatever, after truing to make sure you're good to go, or run it just the way it is. But that's what it's going to look like. And that's plenty of contact patch for out here. it'll damn sure hook up.
So Lance is asking, will we
And
be able to
another,
enter? Sorry, will we be able to enter these cars in another event after?
I
Uh,
I don't. We might run another Labor Day
yeah,
event
yeah.
using the late models. I might do it every year. I don't know. Right now, it's just this. We're just doing this one proxy with these bodies, just to kind of um, just to let everybody know we have them and to have some fun with the race. So I don't know if we what the future holds as far as other races are concerned. I mean, maybe somebody else will have a race at their track.
Yep. That's the whole idea of these cars too, is also to promote the proxy racing. So that's why with the Trans Am cars, there's 4 models. This way, like for example, we have Auto Enthusiast, who's actually he's building one right now to show his club racer guys, so they can make a series here. And this is Sean right here, who's just
Oh,
he says, "Hi guys, is this a proxy racer in person?" No, it's a mail-in race, Sean. So if you build the car, you can mail it in. They'll race it there, and when we're done, it's shipped back. But yeah, I'm cool. You're finishing your car up. That's good.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
if you want to come over
yeah,
and have a slot burger, if you want to drive out here,
yep.
more power to you, brother. You know,
There you go.
I'll certainly we'll certainly entertain you. I'll probably have Strange Brew Dave, Mark Thomas, myself, and probably the general my way, my better half, my boss, and we'll run 4 lanes. And then probably when we go to Mark's house, we'll probably get his son to help. We might have to go only 3 lanes, but we'll still get the job done.
Sean, if you do come out, you'll really have a big treat going to Mark's, because it's a beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful place. Trust me. You
oh
live in
yeah.
Mississippi, so I mean, you actually could make the run to Missouri. You're
Oh,
closer than I am. So,
yeah.
and
T racing, I like to say, is um, it's just like here, but nice.
yep.
Because I just got the old place. You know, and
And
but
Sean, if you want to come out during the summer too, the summer events in July, I'm gonna be there, and so will Dave. That's probably the best time to come out, because this way you can get an idea what the brass chassis building's all about and stuff. One thing I want to mention is that we are getting some bodies ready, and Dave's been working on the mounts so that we sell the bodies themselves to do for brass chassis building, because we don't want to get away from that. So that's something we're trying to make sure we have bodies for, making a brass chassis underneath it. We've just designed the bodies so that they're easier to mount compared to how we used to do it before, which is, again, resin printing has helped us out with that. And then Dave getting really sharp with Blender is a big help. Can you get into that, Dave? What you're talking about? How you did all that?
Oh, we're just trying to make this easier. Like, oh, here's got one right here to show if you want to see it. But yeah, we're adding these mounts inside the body so that you don't have to put, plastistruct or, styrene or whatever you use, wood, popsicle sticks, or any of that stuff. Trying to get away from that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, just trying to make this easier for everybody. So, this makes it a lot simpler to mount a body to a brass chassis now with these little cabs that we put inside each body. So I'm in the process of converting all the ones that we already have out there right now. We're going to reconvert them all to this style. So all of them will be that way. And if you don't like them, you can just, Dremel tool whack them out of there. But I don't know why you would. It just makes it way, way easier. So it's basically how, we have all of our cars now. So very simple, put the we started putting these inserts in so you can see a 2 millimeter screw goes right in. Cars are, it just makes it, we're just trying to make it easier for everybody. So, we've heard a lot of stuff over the years of, oh, I really like to do it, but I don't know how to mount a body, but I don't know how to. So we're trying to eliminate all the buts. And I think we're making a dent in it at least. So, just keep an eye out for that. They'll all be coming.
oh yeah, he's made it pretty easy. Oh yeah, yeah. You're right, Tad. No, no kidding. Big time game changer there.
And it's something that's just so simple. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, why didn't I think of that before? You know, it's just very, very simple to do this. So
Right.
make life
Oh
easier.
God. But yeah, just look forward to it. I mean, it really is one of the easiest proxies um, and cars that you can build, just like any of the other the kick-ass 3D that's going on out there. I mean, Area 71. There's all kinds of cars. Uh, Scale Auto using different chassis, but basically it's just like any other car. You get your model kit, your car, you put it together, you throw the gear at the chassis, and you're on the track. So you don't have to custom scratch build, solder anything. It's you know just put it together. It's pretty easy as it gets as far as a custom slot car that you can call your own. That isn't just one you can buy off the shelf. This is something that you make, and that's the fun of it.
And then we're calling these gray kits. They're not white kits.
They're not white kids, they're gray kids.
They are gray
Right,
kits from
right,
3D.
yeah.
Yeah.
The gray,
And then
this is the gray,
yeah,
the gray
and we're the
side,
only ones that are making the cars that. And it'd be honestly, American culture is so different from back in Europe. In Europe, they have tiny roads because the countries are so old. They have cobblestone, and of course, we're
Yeah,
more the modern, the United States, more open, wide roads. The car culture is different. NSR, Revo Slot, and exception to other companies, they make some really beautiful cars, but they're not going to make the type of cars we have. And then the cars we make are in their own class. So you're going to race them together. Obviously, you're going to compare apples to oranges. You're going to race it against a Revo Slot or NSR. It's going to be different, or Thunder Slot. So this is a class in itself. That's why we made multiple cars, because it'll be boring to have one freaking car and not having something to race against it. That's kind of
Right.
pointless. So I really
You know,
pushed a lot that right there. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say, I saw somebody question about putting the inserts in, having it that they were a pain in the ass. Um, you have to sneak up on the inserts because I kept the body mount small to keep the weight as low as possible on the body. But what you need to do is you need to start with just open the hole that's already there. I did put a hole there. Open that hole up a little bit with a little bit bigger drill bit, and then sneak up on it. And I do two. I step up each size. If you need to go three, because you can break them. Drilling into the resin, like you say, is a little nerve wracking. But if you sneak up on it, don't just try to go straight on and bore a giant hole through it. It will break. So just go a little bit oversized and a little bit more oversized over that, and then hit your final size. It takes but it takes what, 2 seconds. You put a drill in your pin vise, and you don't use a drill, just use a pin vise. Use a drill by hand, and they're very simple. And then pressing them in is easy. A pair of channel locks, they just press right in. You don't have to put no glue or anything else. But if you grab the jaws flat and pinch it, they just press right in. So out of all these ones we've been doing, I broke one so far. So it can be done.
Yeah, there's a video. Like I said, if you go to the Slot Car Corner site right now and you look in the 3A 3D section and you look at the Trans Am cars, and this is really important. I've been telling everybody this in the beginning because they'll ask me, "Hey, how do you do this?" You go to that, and right below it, there's a video that
Yeah.
talks about the kit. I right there do a video of putting the inserts in. They're really easy.
yeah,
I explain the tools you need, where you can get them from Amazon, how to do it,
right.
and your downfalls if you don't do it right. Look at that video. That video has every instruction on how to open your holes up for your bushings, how to drill your tap your holes out for your screws, how to
Right.
put the inserts in the body. Everything's there. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's right there.
Everything.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's pretty easy. You can you guys. I know you can accomplish it. I know you can. Yeah. Curl needle nose helps a lot. Yeah. Yep. Those work. Hey, it's an excuse to go out and buy more tools.
Yeah. There you go.
No,
Perfect. Yeah.
that's
Remember also
That's
the Lexan interior is something that we're offering that you could use
here,
as
hold on, I'll
well
show
if you
you.
want to make it lighter. And then I'll include a sheet of plastic for windows because you'll have to cut your own windows because you can't make vacuum form windows for these, just so you know. It's a window
Yeah.
that goes over the top of it. You just use a piece of paper, trim it out, and then you just do this. Hey, there's Steve, and he just dropped in the link there. Thank you, Steve, from Slaughter Corner. So just see that there. But yeah,
Yeah, just a straight piece of plastic is all you need for these, and you cut it right to size because there's actually a little flange. I'm not even going to show you because you can't see it. There's a little flange around the window, and you glue the windows in from the outside on this car, actually,
Right.
like a modern car. It's a like a bonded window. So, and there's a flange around every window. So if you wanted to, you could
Right.
put glass in the entire car. So
and there's
There's
the
the
Lexan
driver
interior.
figure,
There you go.
and then I got this extra plastic here, and throwing it in there, and then you can just trim this and put in glass if you want, but you don't have to. Some races, some tracks don't run it at all. Some do, so it's optional.
yeah,
That'll take
optional.
four. That'll take, I think, how many grams? I can't. I think it was 14 grams. The interior removes. The car totally weighs with everything about under 100 grams, 98
Yeah,
grams.
under 100 grams.
So
Yeah.
if you take out the interior and put the Lex into your, 14 less. I mean, if you want to think about weight, that's cool. But sometimes having too little weight is not an advantage. We've seen real heavy
Right.
cars kick everybody's ass so quickly. So it doesn't,
Absolutely, John.
anything can happen on the track, man. Just put it that way.
The
So,
Lexan
Absolutely, John.
interior is cool. It doesn't
Totally,
have
totally
there's no
agree
roll
with that.
bar or anything.
yeah,
It's,
there's no roll bar for it or anything, so you don't have to worry about the roll
No.
bar rule or anything. So
It's just a back form driver figure on there, and it comes with a
The
resin
head.
driver's head you can put on, so
Yep.
it looks realistic, and that's all you need.
yeah, nobody's gonna be looking the interior. So
No one's got to look inside anyway. So.
especially going around the corner or around the track. I mean,
Yeah, there. So it's about as light as it gets. You know.
Yeah, I don't know how to make it any lighter except fill it full of holes.
Yeah. Really. Yep. So there we have it.
See you, Ted. So that's basically it, guys. I mean, if there's any questions, please ask. I mean, go ahead. If anybody is needs to ask something, ask.
All you gotta do is just email one of us or message us on Facebook or use the forum. If you're
Yeah.
not a member of the forum, please join the forum.
Yes.
That's what it says. Join the forum and ask questions. That's where I have the link to the rules and everything, and just ask. Like I said, it's just a simple. We do things a little bit differently here. It just it's not cutthroat. It's not. We're here to help you. As John was just mentioning, when we have these races and the showdowns and stuff, what makes it so much fun is how close the racing can be.
Right.
Uh, it all boils down to who's behind the trigger sometimes, and we can, a heat can end and we could all be tied, with a few feet apart. And
Oh, did we lose Harry? Oh, I think we lost Harry. See if he calls. So we lost Harry there, sir. I think his phone might have died. Might have died his phone, but
No,
There's
but
two-
he's right.
there he is. Okay, we
You
lost
get
you
it?
for a moment there. You there, Harry? We lost you for a moment.
Solar flares.
Solar flares. Yeah, it's hot in Missouri like it's hot here. It's friggin' 95 outside. The air conditionings are blasting in this place. There's two email addresses there. Dave, I forget what yours is. Dave Gorley.
ShotgunDaveG@gmail.com.
Okay, shotgun. Yeah, so, all right, I gotta put that in there. So you can email us and Dave G, right?
Yeah, don't forget the G. Everybody always forgets the G.
Yeah, I got it.
And then they go, "How come you didn't answer my email? Because you didn't put the G."
Yeah. So
Somebody
if
else.
you haven't, so if you have any questions, just those are the 3 emails there. We're happy to assist you. Yeah. That thanks to Soccer Dojo for doing that. So we got Harry on here, but I think we lost him. So Illinois is scorching too. Yeah, there's a heat wave across the East Coast. I think that's been happening. Yeah, the Wi-Fi here is getting probably toasted a little. Also, there he is, Harry. We got you there, but we don't hear anything. You don't have no audio. That's odd. Here, let me check. He's got audio here. Just don't have it. What's going on with this connection? No, it's so hot here. It's Australia. I think it must be cold.
Not so hot here either. Oddly enough, California is not even hot.
Humidity's trouble here.
Oh yeah, Eric, the humidity, no doubt. You guys too down there. You guys are. I don't know how you do that humidity that much.
Am I back now?
Yeah, there you are. We got your sound back.
All right.
You're good.
Is there any video? Is there any video? Or is it gone?
Yeah, there's video. You're good.
Okay, good, cool.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just had a phone call come in, so that ruined everything.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, kick you loose.
That'll do that. It'll kick it out.
Right. Yeah.
I could do with some sombreros here in Corfu, Greece.
Oh man, it is hot. It's
it is
hotter. Man, new love here. It's amazing.
Very hot.
I mean, that's the summer though. I'll take the heat all day long.
Yeah, me too. I prefer it now over the cold any day.
Old folks.
Yep, old.
Now I know
exactly.
why all my old folk brothers and everything, and all the old retirees. Now I know why they move where they move, because if it goes under 70 degrees, they got a case of the ass. You know.
Exactly.
They want it nice and toasty.
So I got a video up here that I'm putting that's kind of showing me doing the inserts, so you guys could see what I'm doing here and all the tools. So if you see there in the corner, what size is that drill bit, Dave? I forget.
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Dang it, 1764s? I can't remember. And right there, I'm going to show you this quick video in the corner, so you see there's no sound because we don't need it. And basically how you do the holes and then how you do the inserts on there. And that's real. So this video is on the Trans Am cars on that page right below it. Every car has this, and we'll have Steve do it with the other ones.
It's a 764.
764. Okay, yeah, I got it listed right there. But I put a link there where to get it from Amazon, and just so you could see, it's very easy to drill the resin. It doesn't take much. You don't need a lot of pressure. It's not steel, so it'll just cut through it real nicely, and won't be an issue. So it's 95 here, 55% humidity. But you can see how I drilled the hole out, and you swab it with some super glue, and then you just press the inserts with pliers. So it's not really difficult to do.
I don't even put glue in mine.
Did you? I always put glue in it for the hell. Well, you don't have to put glue. There you go, Dave. So if you don't want to use glue, just press them in. So you could do that.
I just have I use the channel locks. I have a small pair because the jaws are bent, so you can get them up underneath there, and it's not hard. It's very simple. And I use these the needle nose tweezers. And so I pick them up. I stick that right in the barrel, and then when you release the tweezers, it holds them, and then you just set it in the hole and squeeze your tweezers, and it plop right in because they're so tiny. You can't do it with your finger. It's too hard.
How you doing, Pete? Good to see you.
Pete, how you doing there, Pete? Yeah, we got to thank Pete. He's the one that turned us on to this body. So he's the one that's responsible for this. So if it wasn't for him showing us that body, I would have never got excited about this. I'm like, oh man, that's cool. I didn't even see that one. So got to thank Pete for that one.
Pete sent me that body, and it was all in pieces. He wanted it assembled. It's actually a big, like a 1/18 scale model kit is what it started out as. And so
Yeah.
I put it all back together and stuck it in one piece and shrank it to 132 scale. And yeah, perfect.
You just gotta love. I think that's one of the most important things that we've talked about with the 3D is the collaboration and people helping each other out and work that everybody wins. You know, it's this is like slot cars without a filter. We can do anything. We just we get the. I mean, just look at what Dave's doing right now with the VW, the VWs and some other projects, and guys like Pete and some of these other guys. It's just getting the files out there and people getting printers and collaborating. That's what's making this fun, you know. There's so many people helping each other, bringing this to life. Yep. This is as good as it gets. This is what makes the hobby fun, you know. In my opinion.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I agree. I mean, we got, where else are you going to get? Oh, well, okay, look.
Show them the skeleton.
Where else are you going to get this stuff at? I mean, it couldn't be any more extreme, right? A Fun Cup bug and a freaking NASCAR vintage truck. I mean,
right.
It doesn't exist anywhere else. It's just fun.
Nobody makes pickup trucks. I can guarantee you right now.
Nobody. Where else are you going to get that? I mean, it doesn't exist anywhere.
No, you ask anybody who make pickup trucks, they'll look at you and think you're crazy.
Right. Racing trucks? What?
Yeah. That.
Yeah. Tony Tez, VW Grape, be a good proxy. There you go. Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's this thing. I always wanted to do these. The Carrera ones aren't available anymore unless you pay $100, $150 to get them off of eBay. And the Revell monogram ones too. And the Revell monogram ones, they weren't that great, but as far as running gear, but they were fun because they were the only ones. So, like I said, we got to have that again. And this one, the chassis is great on this. It works. Of course, I don't know. Have you ran one yet, George?
On the truck?
The VW.
No, I'm still putting mine together. I painted the body, remember, from this morning. So Steve updated the link. It's called the support link, and it has the video there by itself. So thank you, Steve. So if you see that link, it's a 3A3D support page.
The chassis, the body is made of these chassis.
Yeah, Paul has a good question there. All of these cars the chassis are specific to the bodies. So if you look at them, the truck chassis, the VW chassis, the late model chassis, they're all different. And the same with even the Trans Am cars. We have 4 Trans Am cars, but none of the chassis are interchangeable. They're all body specific. So I don't know. I've been thinking about a adjustable chassis, but I don't know. I mean, for me, it's easier to just make one specific to the body and not fool around with the adjustable ones are heavy anyways and not as durable as one piece. So I don't know, but no. To answer your question, the short answer is no. The chassis are not interchangeable.
No problem.
Jeff
G, how you
doing? The pods are interchangeable. If it's a Sidewinder, the Sidewinder pod will fit in any of the Sidewinder cars. So and same thing with inline. Okay, like I've made the Volkswagen inline. Well, the Volkswagen is not a good one because that one's specific. So no, that's not right. But the Sidewinder stuff all fits, and most of our stuff is Sidewinder right now. Except for the dirt cars, those are inline.
Yeah,
but all those inline pods are interchangeable with the inline chassis. So
yeah, we'll be putting some of those chassis out pretty soon, just not yet. But we've been working on the other ones. There's a couple other cars we have too. We have in mind, of course.
George is printing his butt off over there, so we were trying to. Yeah. He's trying to. We've got to do this in waves. So right now he's concentrating on this stuff, and then I don't know, whatever George wants to go with next. If he wants to go with the trucks or whatever, he's kind of he's the manufacturing end over here. So
Yeah,
whatever he
yeah.
tells us is coming, that's what's coming. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony Tibbs has a question: is the VW going to be available as a kit, Dave?
I mean, I guess it could be. It's so again, talk to the manufacturing end over here. you
That
know,
that just that also depends if it's going to be popular. Okay, so you got to realize this. We had one guy email us on the 3D. You know, it'd be cool if we had a dune buggy. I'm like, I
right.
don't think dune buggies are going to sell that much, dude. I get, we don't want to
I'd like
give
to see
Steve.
Bucky, but
Yeah, I would, but I mean, I
but
wouldn't want to give something to Steve that is just going to sit on the shelf and not move.
right.
He is a
Right.
business. You can't have something that sits there and doesn't do
I mean,
anything.
if Steve's gonna, if we're gonna print a shitload of these like we have everything else, and Steve's gonna sell 8 of them or something, it's not gonna.
Yeah,
It's just it doesn't work. And if I don't know, we'll figure something out. But
yeah.
nonetheless, I think the bug will be popular. Just judging by that's kind of why I do what I do with them. I make
Post.
them. And while they're still a gray kit, I'll post pictures on our Facebook page and on Home Racing World, and that's me gauging the reaction. If it only gets a few likes or whatever, then it's like, okay, that's not really very popular, so put that out. That's just for me. But then some of these other ones, like the bug, I noticed has gotten a lot of likes and a lot of comments. The Corvette did, the Porsche did. So there's a lot of things in the works. So George is working on these right now, and the Corvette is just come out, but we still have the Porsche that we have that we want to do
Yeah.
something with, and the trucks and a couple other little gizmos that we're talking about or whatever. But yeah, so it's all about popularity. If you guys like them, then we'll continue to do it. If they're not, then they'll slide off the page and we won't do them anymore. At least not for public use. We'll keep them if we like them. We'll keep doing them for ourselves. But
All right.
um,
Smart Race, how you doing there? There's the developer for the Smart Race app for which I've used before. Good app. How you doing there, sir? Saying hello to everybody. Thanks for dropping by. Carmen Gia.
yeah, Carmen, yeah, you know what, John?
Yeah.
I love the Volkswagens, and I've been looking at them, and I'd like to do a notchback, Carmen Gia. There's quite a few of the VWs I'd like to do, so you just don't know. We'll see what happens. What happens, I get these wild hairs. That's how this thing came to life. You know, uh, Pete sent me that body, and I was like, oh, I got to do that. And I just sat here and did it, and then showed it to Harry and George. They were like, oh, hell yes, we're doing those. And then the next thing you know, man, it's like, woohoo, we're off to the races, literally. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And it takes a lot of work to do all this too. I mean, I did a short where I threw all my old bodies that were just all bad prints, so
Yeah.
it's It takes this again. You don't get rich off this. I do this because I enjoy it, and then have somebody else enjoy it, because you got to put everything back into the machines and all the maintenance, and having bodies designed. It's not a real big money grab or anything like that. It's very little. You don't make a lot of money on stock cars. And honestly, and I'm being honest when I say that, if nobody bought them, I could care less, because I would build them for myself.
Yep, I feel the
Simple.
same way. Totally.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like it, don't buy it, But if you like it and you want to enjoy it, that's the happiness I get when people buy them and they post pictures. That's why I tell people, post photos of this stuff. Go to the forum board, join the forum board, post your creations, because they're your own creations. That's something you're not going to buy from NSR or slot it. That is your own creation and your own thing, and that's what makes it unique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will buy a dune buggy.
Yeah, I encourage you to please, with your bills, is share them. Get some photos and come to the forum. It's not that hard to post photos. You can upload them to the forum and share them in the forum and start some conversations. I invite all of you to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely, like George was just talking. excuse me, talking about the scratch building. I love the scratch building, but this has changed the hobby for me a little bit. I still love to build the brass stuff, even though I haven't really built anything in a while. But I'm really enjoying bringing these weird cars to life, and I sit here at the computer. A year ago, if George or Harry told me a year ago that I was going to be designing stuff on Blender and we were going to be printing it out, and
Yeah, we
people,
didn't think of that.
I would have told them that they were out of their mind. So, but here it is a year later, and I did. I'm an old man, and I taught myself how to use these new, uh, you know, new things, and I'm doing something with it, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm not saying I'm going to stop building brass chassis because I'm not, but I'm really enjoying doing this. And to me, it's really cool that you look at that looks like something you bought from a store. That looks like something that came from Carrera or Scale Electric, only better in my opinion. And it just looks, it's just so clean and so nice. I'm really, really enamored with this whole process. So expect more stuff down the road.
Buckers of Atlanta, how you doing there, sir?
Hey,
Yep,
Jamal's
yep.
on there. Hey, Jamal,
Jamal's
what's
on
up?
there. Yep. Many stock car raceways were open for the same. All right. Well, so,
Jerry, the Ford Hot Rod kits. You know what?
question. Okay.
I need to update that kit. Again, I don't know if anybody's even interested in that hot rod still. So I need to update that kit again because that was the very first thing I did, that hot
Yeah.
rod. So I need to update that, make it a little more refined and a little better. And so again, if there's demand for it, then I'll happily make more and get them to Steve to sell them to you guys.
Yeah, the first cars we did, it's like Dave said, the evolvement of the chassis and what you're doing. We made them better because you realize that the 3-post design with the interior was the first version of it, and it worked, but we weren't too happy on how the body position and how top heavy it was a little. Of course, you could put weight and compensate for that, but we when Dave went to the redesign, it was like, oh yeah, this is a lot better. And then changing the mounts like that really changed the scratch building aspect, and it has really to be honest, it has really caught attention, though nobody's saying anything about it. But the other people are starting to see the potential of them doing it themselves for their own place or their own businesses, and doing their own cars. Now, all these models that we have paid to get made, they are available, but the difference is that they don't have the body mounting patent that we do. So the cars, when we get them made, we get a 90-day exclusivity to keep them for ourselves, and then they get released to 3D Colts by the designer, and then you can get it. It usually puts it in 124 scale. You'll have to scale it down, but it won't have body mounts, so you'll have to deal with the whole thing. It won't have an interior.
You
So
won't have a
that's the whole
chassis
thing.
either.
Yeah, it won't have a chassis either. So it's a whole different deal there. So this is it.
Pete's still there, is he?
Yeah, he's still here.
So Pete sent us an email. We were talking about some of the modifieds bodies, right? Some of the modifieds, and I contacted a guy, and he gave me a really good discount because I didn't need all the chassis and everything. I just wanted those shells, right, for the Showdown series. So he was willing to work with us. So I'm downloading those, and I will share them with you as soon as I finish downloading.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. And I'll show you guys here in a minute what we're talking about. But my camera isn't working, so I can't really see what I'm doing. But it's bodies that will fit into the Strange Brew series that we can 3D print.
You know, this is all your fault, Harry. You're the one who said it. You're the one who said, "Boy, wouldn't it be neat if we had a plastic chassis that we could put under these?" And then that was it. You set me off to the races with this stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, right.
And now I've been obsessed with it ever since. And it's just like Harry, like George just said, it's evolving. You know, it started out pretty rudimentary. It worked. The first chassis that we came up with, and then it's like it just evolved to where it's at now, and hopefully it'll continue to evolve as I get better messing around with Blender, and we get more ideas, then we'll evolve this even further to even a more refined. Right now I really like the way it works now. It works fantastically. So, um, yeah, yeah, it's all your fault, Harry.
I accept it. Yeah, it's great. Um, this is, I mean, it just doesn't get any more fun than this. Is building your own car, regardless whether or not you're scratch building your own chassis. But it's just like having a model kit, an AMT, a model kit, and you take it off the shelf and you bring it to life, right?
Yeah,
And that's still what we're doing. The motors, the gears, the wheels, the paint, the decal work that you do. You're creating a car that you can't buy the finished product. It's yours. It's your unique signature, your character, and you just can't put a price on that. You know, I just got a box in from Sucker Corner with some, an NSR and MR and everything else, and you know what? So did everybody else, right? All I had to do was order it. You know,
yeah.
not that I don't like the cars and I don't love them and they're not fun, but right here, creating your own. That's it. You know,
So
and
Jerry has a question. He says, "Do modern modifieds qualifies for Strange Brew series?" Well, it depends what modern modifieds you're talking about. I don't think so, but talking about
no,
big
not
winged
not the
cars and
no, not the modern.
yeah.
No, we're not doing the modern super late models modifieds like that. No, I think I got it in the rules. It's right around like 1984, 83 is like the cutoff year.
Mhm.
Where I'm just keeping it classic. Those are the cars that we raced back in the day. Brew and I did. So that's what the series is based on, not the newer ones. I gotta get these things downloaded. Wait till you guys see that. Anyway, my iPad is dying, so I'm gonna have to let you guys go because I ain't got a way to charge it. I don't have my cord down here, but I'll let you guys continue on, and then I'll log in on the computer and help answer any of the questions.
Okay, right here. All right, that was Harry. Thank you for coming and joining us. So, any other questions on anything else you guys could think of? So, just go ahead and shoot. That was a good question, Jerry, to ask because some people don't know. I know that series has been around a long time, Strange Brew series. So it's something that we keep just like the showdown and the brass chassis stuff. All the same, we don't change that. I do want to build which I will build a scratch built super late model car. I want to do that because I want to be able to show people that you can build a brass chassis and how easy it is to mount the body onto it. So
Right.
it's kind of nice. I did do it with the first version bodies with the Falcon, with the post for the interior. That was a teeny bit hard, not too bad, but it was a lot easier than putting plastic strut. So I thought that worked out real well. Hey, stop! Oh, my dog, Mitzi, get out of here if you're gonna make that noise. Out, out, out! Come on, out! All riled up. Somebody's dropping something off.
But dirt late model, Jerry, I don't know. I know it's when you're talking about, right, the real super square, the really super leany cars. Yeah, I don't know if there. I know that there are quite a bit of those out there. That, as far as bodies for that dirt late model car, but again, no chassis. So I don't know. Might be something we could think about if it's popular, if people really want it.
Northwest big blocks. Dirt late model. Yeah, we're gonna stick with the asphalt car here for now, just so we can
Yeah, for now. I
pace
mean, yeah,
ourselves.
the list just keeps growing because we actually, people suggest stuff quite often, and some of it cool, but in fact, all of it's cool. It's just there's only so many hours in the day. It's like,
Yeah,
whew, I don't know.
exactly. Yep. So, any other questions from anybody? I know we've gone over quite a few things about it. So, uh, again, the event's August 30th and the 31st. So, if you're interested in sending a car in, please do. Or if you want to build one for yourself or your track, go for it too. I mean, that's what the kits are for.
Right.
You know, I got some cars with rubber tires that work well, and then some the asphalt for the oval track I use the Paul Gauge. So I mean, you could make them road course cars if you want them to. It's just kind of how you want to build them. So, but otherwise it all
Yeah, they're
works well.
pretty versatile, pretty easy to build, very easy to build.
Yep, not very hard at all. So, all right then, I guess that's pretty much it. Let's see if any more questions, but it's right here. I wish I could get my printer working right. There are so many cards I want. Gotta get the printer working. I'd like to
Yeah.
see more classic muscle cars. All right, but let's see, Jeff G. We got
Yeah,
to be the hardest
choosing
part of
what next. You know what? It's
Yep.
whatever. It's like the VW. The VW just happened. It just happened. I actually saw a picture of the Cup car somewhere. The Fun Cup is what they were called. VW Fun Cup. And I saw something about it somewhere, and I went, oh, and it just started the wheels turning, and now there's a car. So yeah, it's the same thing with these trucks. Harry wanted that Haas truck because he just wanted it, and so he got it. And the next thing you know, and then I'm like, oh, we need a Ford. You can't have just a Chevy. We got to have, the Nemesis. So then it started me down the path of making a Ford. So now we've got those. These things sort of have a life of their own. They just sort of happen. And yeah, happy accidents. Is that what? Yeah, Bob Ross. It's a happy accident.
Bob Ross. All right then. Okay, we're gonna end it here. So we're gonna be on Marty's tomorrow. If you guys are interested in watching us on Marty's again, Marty wants us to come on and talk about some of the stuff we're doing. So, because there are some cars that we haven't really talked about that we have already. So we could mention, but 2011 Crown Vic, not likely. I don't know about that one.
How about the Yugo? We need a Yugo, right?
Yeah, Crown Vic, very interesting car.
Yugo from Gremlins.
Police car. Crown Vic's a police car, right?
Yeah, Crown Vic.
From that. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you joining and looking in. So, check out the rules. They're very pretty simple and easy to follow. If you want to join in on the Labor Day shootout, which will be the late model car race, basically shootout. So everything's there. All the rules are posted. Parts are all easy to get to. Go to Stock Car Corner. Everything's there. Not very difficult to find. So, but anyways,
a couple months of it too, so plenty of time.
Yep, exactly, and it's quicker to build that than it is to do a brass chassis if you look at it.
Yeah,
so
you can build this in an afternoon.
Yeah. Should be no excuse. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. As always, you take care and have fun racing. Thanks, Dave, for joining me and Harry. And
have
see you later,
week, guys.
See ya.